Right now, I'd like to officially announce that I am running for the office of Palm Beach County Sheriff.
That's what I'm talking about.
I appreciate it. You know, there's a lot of places we could have picked to do this formal announcement at. A lot of places that are being neglected in Palm Beach County. I thought about Belle Glade, I thought about Lake Worth, I thought about doing it in Loxahatchee. I also thought about doing it at some of the scenes of some of these very questionable shootings that we've been dealing with under the leadership of Rick Bradshaw and his culture of corruption. I picked Ibis because this is where the sheriff lives, okay? And I want you to know that the sheriff lives in a multi-million-dollar housing community that's gated, secured, has armed guards, and we know he's safe, but I just got to wonder if you and the rest of Palm Beach County are safe. Because it was only a few miles from here where Seth Adams was gunned down in cold blood on his own property at his house in Loxahatchee while the sheriff was home sleeping safe and sound. So that's our reason for doing this first announcement, formal announcement here. Second, you know, I could talk all day about the issues with the Palm Beach County Sheriff and his leadership. We could talk about the questionable shootings. We could talk about the wasteful budget. We could talk about the jail and the corrections deputies being a bastard child in that agency for years. I could tell you about favoritism, nepotism, all the issues that we have in that agency right now under Rick Bradshaw. I could tell you his history of being a thief that's noted, of being a liar, and of being, in my opinion, a racist. Okay, we could talk about that, and I do talk about that almost weekly for the last 5 years on my radio show, Cop Talk Radio, on the Talk of the Palm Beaches. And today at 4 p.m., when our show airs every Friday, we'll be talking about these issues again today, as we've been doing for the last several years. Okay, but I really wanted to come here, and I wanted to call on Sheriff Rick Bradshaw to withdraw his candidacy to resign from the office of sheriff because of the corruption, the culture of corruption he has created, because of his condoning of murder, his condoning of misconduct, and his condoning of the wasteful budget and what I think is robbing the taxpayers. We are paying top dollar. We're paying $500 million a year for this sheriff's office, the highest in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Okay? Yet, we have the fifth worst case solvability record, fifth from the bottom of any county in the state of Florida out of 67 counties. It's time for a change. I'm calling for Rick Bradshaw to step out of office, to withdraw his candidacy, and stop holding the county hostage, stop holding the good men and women, deputies we have in the agency hostage. Okay. I went to Green Acres when there was talk of a merge and the sheriff taking over the city of Green Acres, which they did. They eventually did that. And I spoke in opposition of that takeover. I went up and spoke to the commissioners and told them why that would not be the right move right now. But they made the change. But I have to tell you, while I was at that meeting, somebody spoke after me. And the person who spoke after me made a lot of sense to me. And that was Sergeant Consangian, who's the president of the Palm Beach County Police Benevolent Association, who got up there and said, look, he said to the Green Acres commissioners, stop holding our deputies hostage. They deserve better pay. They deserve better equipment. Let them go.
That's right.
Well, I'm asking the sheriff to stop holding our county hostage and the good men and women of the sheriff's office hostage. We need to have him to let go of. I want to thank you for coming out. Some of us are going to go have lunch at the Gator Shack. I want to thank the Gator Shack for coming out. I want to thank IBIS because their security people couldn't have been better. I came out here yesterday. I met with their head of security, showed us exactly where we could set up and not interfere with anybody as far as legalities and things of that nature. So I want to thank them for their support. I want to thank the news media for their support. I want to thank my campaign manager, Matt Golddapper, right here for his support. Harry Kaufman, Dick, you've been a supporter of my Cop Talk radio show for years. For years, we've been trying to educate the community and send this message out. Dave Harris, my former assistant police chief back here. And last but not least, Joe Talley ran against Sheriff Bradshaw 4 years ago in the last term. And I supported Joe wholeheartedly. Joe, I wish you had been elected the last time, because then I wouldn't have to be up here today. I didn't want to have to do this. I'm doing it because I can't sleep at night knowing that we have this sheriff in office who's corrupt and leading a culture of corruption. And if nobody runs against him, he's going to sit there for another 4 years and continue to do the same thing. And I think by then it's going to really be too late to get this place turned around.
Amen.
Thanks again for coming out.
Woo! Go Rick! Go Rick! Go Rick! Go Rick!